All right, guys, we are back with Tyler Wozniak, the Stokely certified coach. He really helped my backhand last time. That was about a month ago now. In 2 days, it'll be exactly a month since that lesson. I looked it up before we came out today. Things have been coming along well. Today, we're going to be working on shot selection, not so much form stuff. I thought it'd be fun to bring him out. We're here at Eastway. Basically, give him an option or two of what I think I would want to throw on each and every hole. And then you can kind of give me some advice on which one I should go with to ideally shoot a better score.
Exactly. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to kind of get you inside the mind of course preparation, breaking down strategy per hole, and knowing the type of shots and the type of lines that you want to take, and kind of see the differences between different lines as well. So awesome. Yo, what up? So what I was just telling Dylan was that when I approach a hole like this, where the end of the fairway is guarded by a lot of trees, actually throwing a backhand here as a right-handed thrower to get to the pin is going to require a little bit of luck, because I've got to avoid some trees at the end of the flight. So what I was telling Dylan is really my goal is to throw it straight as possible, with minimal fade or turn, and then give myself maybe a longer putt, but I minimize the chance of an early tree hit that way. So just straight.
He talks the talk and walks the walk on hole one. Come on now.
First shot out the van too.
So you would prefer the stable disc straight at the gap versus like something that'll flip a little bit, or do you think the flip is okay? I
think I'm going with a disc that has some flip.
Okay.
Not the flippy disc, if that makes so. This is very difficult to explain sometimes, but I like to call it the neutral flying disc.
Okay.
That when I put it flat, it wants to stay flat, but it doesn't want to burn over, and it doesn't want to flex out early.
Okay, perfect.
So I'm kind of going in my in-between stability disc.
So I'm going to go with this Latitude 64 Brave here and see if we can't just get it to stay straight towards that gap.
Yeah, come on.
I mean, that's as neutral as it gets.
Good shot, bro.
Oh, we hit the last guardian tree, but I think we're in the circle.
Exactly, and you see the shot was going straight. The shot was going straight at the end of the flight, not necessarily turning into the gap. And it's just, for this hole, that is a higher percentage play. There it is.
All right, my Brave, it was, I mean, a couple inches higher. We had a potential ace run coming in here. Nice start.
Nice.
Good advice on hole one. We've secured the birdie. Let's see if you can coach me to a few more today.
We are over here at hole 2 now. We've got probably one of the longer holes on the course. Is a par 4, about 700 feet. It's uphill. There's always a wind on this hole. We got a little headwind right now. Really, you just want to try to throw something hard. Try to maybe get to that tree with the white flowers on it in the background. And just avoid the mistake of letting your disc get squirrely and out of control.
So as far as disc selection goes, do you think I should be going like full distance driver? Like I've got, this Hurricane's pretty understable. So headwind?
I think for fun, you would go your full distance driver and try to throw it perfectly to get it to flip an S all the way. If in a tournament and you're trying to play, or in your practice round and you're really focusing on score, I would take your distance driver disc that's right maybe 1 to 2 notches below your most overstable distance driver.
So that, for me, that would be a vulture.
Yeah.
It's like a stable 10 speed.
And then I would be focusing on whichever angle you feel like is going to keep that disc the straightest and throw it down to center.
Okay. I think the vulture's the move. It was either the vulture or the trail. I think the vulture's the play.
Yep. And then, like, that's a good play.
Yeah, we'll definitely be able to potentially get up and down for the birdie here.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to try the funsy shot with the super flip Hurricane. If you weren't here, this is what I would have done.
Go, baby. Yeah, I mean, that's also a good shot.
Got a little squirrely, but not super squirrely.
Here, try the funsy shot with this guy.
Oh, dude, that is smoked.
Woo, let's go.
Oh, that's so far.
Thanks.
Dude, nice crush. All right, so the Vulture, I'd say we're like, the shot plays like 275 out maybe?
Yeah.
What kind of shot shape are we thinking here?
When I look at a hole like this, or when I look at a shot like this, as a right-handed, backhanded player, I'm taking my neutral to stable approach disc, and I'm trying to play the right side to finish it into the left side.
I don't think I have the juice to get there with my zone.
Okay.
So maybe my stable mid?
Yeah, whatever that mid-range is, that's your neutral to stable.
Okay.
You can hit it flat, but it does fade hard at the end of the flight type of thing.
All right. I've just put this core back in the bag. I'm curious to see how it flies. So my thought is to aim at the tree on the right.
Yep.
Basket's to the left of the tree.
I would even aim maybe closer to that bushy green.
So even more right.
Just in general,
Not
between the two.
All right. I'll kind of aim for that bushy green.
Yep, and then you threw it perfectly to the bushy green.
Yeah, hit the bushy green and then faded. That actually still might be a bit short, but I think the shot shape was what we were looking for.
Yeah, and I didn't know how much that disc was going to turn. I think that was a good idea, your original thought, to put it on the tree.
I think I like the hyzer better than the flex.
Yeah, I do too. That's just so much easier.
Hole 3, we've got another pretty tricky par 4. The fairway kind of winds to the left, but then comes straight back to the right, and it goes down a big hill. But on this first shot, I'm just thinking I have 2 options, both of them being hyzer-ish shots. I've got a neutral disc, that same Brave I threw on 1, kind of on a pushing hyzer line. Or would you go like more stable smash with the Vulture? Same disc I threw on the last one.
I would go with the disc you think you can hit the distance with the best.
I think distance-wise, I think the Brave's going to go a lot farther.
And what I mean, like where the fairway turns, where your disc is entering the turn of the fairway, which disc do you think, throwing at your normal power is going to do that?
Now, when you put it that way, I think it's the Vulture. I think the Brave is the greedy play, and the Vulture's probably the right play. You know my bag super well, so I'm trying to do my best to explain what's what.
Yeah.
I think Vulture was the right choice. Oh, we hit the tree a little too high.
A little lower, and it was the right choice.
Oh,
and I just threw too high.
You did the Dylan line.
Yeah. Oh, that was terrible.
Hey, disc golf's hard, guys.
Yeah, I mean, that was great.
All right.
Just do that.
Yeah, I'll just do that. It's as simple as that. Just do that. Just throw it under the basket. All right, so Tyler threw an unbelievable Firebird shot that I unfortunately didn't record.
It's all right.
But can he get up and down here for the bird? Oh, wonderful. And one thing I like about your game is that I feel like you're a bit of an intuitive player. It's like you have a very unconventional putting stance, but it's how you feel the best.
Yeah.
And I think that's something everyone tries to do it the way everybody else does it. And I think that's good 80% of the time, but sometimes you need to just do it the way that's best for you.
I totally agree with that. And in fact, that's something I do in my lessons. I stress the importance. Like if I'm working with somebody and I want to change their grip or change something about their form that is just very intuitive for them, unless it is just so wrong that it has to change, then I will try to work with it to a certain degree to see, and then make other adjustments around what's intuitive for them.
I think that's really good advice. All right, the proxy just pulled up under the basket.
Kaboom.
Boom. All right, hole 5, we've got a pretty tricky water carry here. You need to get over the water and over to the left. My 2 instincts, I've got the same Brave I threw on 1 and then one other time, just kind of pushing hyzer. Or I've got the more stable option, which is this Discraft Cyclone, which is like a super stable T-bird.
Ooh, old school disc.
And if I throw it in the water, I'm gonna jump in and get it.
Okay. Yeah, I think on a hole like this, once again, it's really how hard do you want to throw it. If you want to throw it hard, go with the more stable disc. If you want to be like smooth, go with your pushing stable disc.
I just don't, power is not like my strongest suit.
I say go with the pushing disc because the last thing you want to do is fade out early here. I think you're safer going too straight into gap than fading early.
I think that's good advice. That was kind of hoping you'd say that. All right, let's go with the more straight disc, the Brave.
Yeah, see, like if that was your Cyclone, it might have already hit those trees. That looks good.
Right,
It
and
looks perfect.
the Brave is absolutely pinned.
There you go.
Good advice. The Cyclone would not have worked out on that line.
Yeah.
And I was feeling physical fear and anxiety about potentially throwing this over the water.
Yep.
I was actually scared.
Yeah. I will say that too. Whenever you have anxiety, physical fear or anxiety about throwing a certain disc, you probably need to throw a different disc.
That's good advice.
Because you will end up not committing fully to your shot or over committing, and you won't be in that good flow state. So go with the disc that's safer. Maybe it doesn't get as close, but it's safer.
Oh, good pull. Get beefy. Oh, you're right up there with the Brave. Skip.
A little straighter than I wanted to be, but I'm okay with that.
We got T Money here. Firebird. Can he knock down the putt?
Yeah. A little straight of the Firebird. A little straight of the putt. A little high of the putt. A little wide of the putt.
Maybe we should just go with the first putt.
Yeah, hey, when the first one's in, that's usually a decent sign.
The rollaway is pure comedy. Some YouTube guy put his Brave right under the basket though. I don't know how he did that.
By being super cool.
Hole 6, dead straight, 267. The discs I was thinking was the Core, which is like neutral mid-range. This is my straighter of the two. Or the Proxy, this Proxy that I tend to throw pretty well as well.
Yeah.
What are you thinking when you approach a shot like this? Because it's pretty straight.
Well, with a normal right-handed, backhanded player with your power, I think of any disc that's going to allow me to hit the middle of the gap with hyzer to hyzer flat angle that won't burn over or fade early. I'm actually wanting to keep this shot more straight than anything. Even though the basket's on the left, I'm not too worried about an ace run or finishing left. I'm more so trying to pierce to the end of the hallway.
So you're actually now when you say it like that, it makes me want to consider also the flippier of my two Proxies just to emphasize that straight flight.
Yeah.
I'd say this guy's, I bagged both of these and this one tends to be more stable.
Yeah.
So you think go with the straighter guy?
Yeah, but throw it on the angle that's going to keep it straight and not have it turn over.
We also have a slight tailwind, so I think you're 100% right about the flippier one.
Come on.
Oh, I did it.
It almost did it though.
It's actually still like in circle one. You mind if I throw this other one too?
Go for it.
I never know if I'm more comfortable with the slight hyzer or the flat.
That's so yeah, now we're gonna try a little flat.
Yeah.
Yep, perfect.
Like I almost think I'm better at that shot. But I'm still, you
got a little lucky, but it was good.
We're always kind of working on our game at all times.
Yeah.
But trying to actually know what you're better at, I feel like is something that I'm not good at. I try to do the high percentage play instead of doing what I'm actually better at.
Yeah, I actually think, back to our discussion from the beginning of the video, the higher percentage play is typically what you're more comfortable doing.
Even if it's a harder shot,
Even if it's a harder shot, exactly.
Yeah, and that's something that's hard for me to come to terms with.
This is the Nina Guerrero Cheapo S. Again, kind of straight disc. I'm gonna throw it on a little hyzer, not a lot.
Shout out Gateway.
Yep.
Oh, he's laced it. Fade. Damn. Oh, dude, if that doesn't hit the tree, I actually think it's in.
Yeah, that would've been cool.
I like that shot for you a lot better.
I mean, it stayed a little too straight, but I can make that work, yeah.
All right, we both got birdie putts again. We're looking pretty strong.
Boom.
Kid doesn't miss.
Dang it!
Except with white putters. You miss with those sometimes. Doesn't bode well for me because I only have 2 white putters. Does that mean I'm fricked?
Nope, you're good.
Shout out the Proxy. We skipped hole 8. Hole's kind of, you know, not my favorite hole, I'll be honest. Hole 9 though, great hole, 265, tight gap off the tee, then you need a fade to the left.
Yep.
Gonna ask the same question I've been asking, because this is something that I spend a lot of time thinking about when I'm playing disc golf is neutral disc on pushing hyzer, or do I kind of smack the more stable option? Which do you think would be, more optimal? Also consider we have a headwind.
Yeah, I think, you got this tree in the very middle of the gap. And really, that's the tree you have to miss, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think the neutral disc plays safer. It looks like going deep is a much easier par recovery than flexing early left.
True, that's super valid.
And so a lot of times when I'm in between two discs, not only am I thinking which one am I throwing at a more comfortable pace, but I'm also thinking the worst case scenario of throwing this disc incorrectly. Which scenario is the worst of the worst case scenarios? And I think having an early fading shot is the more worst case scenario than a shot that goes too straight. And no matter if it was a Cyclone or a Brave, that was just what happens sometimes.
You know what I did though? I walked up this way.
Yeah.
No wonder I hit that freaking tree. I should line up here and smack this gap.
Or just don't exaggerate so far to the left.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's good advice, because that was terrible.
There you go.
So that's the mid. The mid is plenty disc to get up there.
Perfect, dude. I think that's the best play, because if you miss with your mid and you hit a tree, it's going to ricochet not as far away as the driver will.
That was nice.
Yeah. I'm pretty okay with this. At a course like this, where you have like trees on the way into the basket, parking the basket it can be tough. So you kind of have to take getting to the green and making putts.
Mid-range on this hole for me, this is a new thing for me after our lesson.
Sick.
Because I parked this hole with the Skeeter the other day. First time I ever got into this hole with a mid-range.
That's what I like to hear. What a putt.
Putting lasers out here.
You are.
Pressure's on here.
Yeah, this is my danger zone. Right to left wind.
He's using the blue one though.
30 feet. Nope.
Oh! Hole 10. I only have one disc for this shot, so I'm going to throw the Fission Proxy.
Come on, baby.
There it is.
Hey,
that's par.
You're so good at backhands.
Only for the last month. That's really where it all started.
That's what I like to hear.
I visualized that shot like before I threw it more than I ever have. I was like, this is exactly what I'm going to do. And I did it. And that felt really good.
Dude, if you can connect on visualizations, then you got a chain link of rhythms. You'll keep connecting on them.
That's also parked. Good shot.
All right, so Dylan threw an exquisitely good shot, my young chap. And now I have this little jumper that I'm gonna do my jumping form for.
I'm putting the pressure on you on some of these holes here.
Yeah, but remember we said we were gonna go yellow disc?
Yeah, we decided the blue putter is no good for him. Yeah. Or the white one. And it was all yellow. See? What did I say? Yellow. You better only putt with yellow the entire tournament.
I won my first tournament in Charleston with my yellow one, so I think it is yellow.
Yellow brings good vibes too.
Oh. Oh.
I mean, that was a bad putt. I'm not going to blame the end of a disc catcher.
You need
that was
a
just
yellow
a bad putt.
Royal.
I need a yellow peak. Isaac, where's the yellow peaks?
Royal? Yellow Royal.
So this is hole 11. We're going to play the long tee and the short tee. And this is going to be our last hole of today's video. My thoughts on this tee, it's a 390-foot par 3. It snakes to the right, but you still need some fade at the end. I'm sort of thinking between the Vulture and the Trail. I can kind of force the Vulture and it'll have this ability to come back for me. Or I can kind of put the Trail flat and let it flip. You think more of a direct Vulture or like a finessey Trail is probably better?
I think that you want to throw the disc that's going to get to the right and stay right longer.
Okay.
Because of the shape of the fairway here. Anything that fades out early is going to be has to get lucky. If you stay too right, you'll still have a putt even at the end of the flight.
You know, that's a great point. And my knee-jerk reaction is vulture. You're exactly right. If I go to the left, I'm in bogey town.
Yep.
So this trail is much more likely to stay to the right, which is going to give you better access at the par. That's actually, you made me rethink this hole completely. I've never thought about that way.
And you just did it. So we're staying right side.
And I'm honestly, let's say this tournament setting, this is not a hole I'm trying to birdie really. This is a very demanding shot, and a par is going to gain strokes on a lot of people.
And maybe what you need is a brand new trail that's not quite as straight.
There you go. That's the one.
Yeah.
That's a committed pull. That's parked.
A little short, but not too short.
You make those though.
Yeah,
With the yellow putter, you make that.
Yeah, yeah. Not too short.
All right, this is hole 11's short tee. I'm right in between. Obviously, we have a tight gap off the tee that we need to hit, but we need to get over to the left. I'm kind of thinking like forced flat zone, or again, neutral. It's always like stable versus neutral. I'm always kind of wondering how to decide which is best.
I think with a shot like this, you just have to decide whether you're throwing the flex or the hyzer. And if you're going with the hyzer play, I think you want your pushing proxy. And if you're going with like the flat flex play, then definitely the zone. But you don't want to make the error of throwing the flex flat with the proxy and the swoopy hyzer with the zone, right? So it's once you commit to the angle of release, you got to find the disc that best works on that angle.
Yeah, I think the hyzer is the obvious play for me.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's a hair long, but in the circle. Can never be mad about that.
Try with the zone. I mean, maybe it is a zone hyzer. I don't know how stable that thing is.
This is a really old,
then that could be perfect then. But see, there you go. Exactly.
See, that's the mistake right there. So that's why we go with the more neutral option.
Precisely, my man.
That's funny. This guy knows his stuff. He says what's going to happen, and then it happens. It's like magic.
I do. So I'm going to go hard hyzer flex, or not hyzer flex, but kind of, I'm just going to throw it.
I'm just going to throw it. So you went with the stable hyzer, obviously.
Oh, okay, it's way shorter than I'm thinking. Okay.
This hole's pretty short.
So I'm going to go with the slower disc, same line.
That should be parked. Great shot.
Kaboom.
Nicely done.
Thanks.
Most of the time it's obvious what the right shot is, but he broke it down in a way where it actually made me think of a better way altogether to think of some of the holes. Like
when you're looking at a shot or a hole, you have an initial gap, you have an initial flight, and then you have middle of the fairway flight, and then you have a finishing flight. And you kind of need to piece all three pieces together to best determine the direction or the type of shot you want to take. So always, sometimes you start from the end to the beginning or from the beginning to the end, but you're always putting together the initial flight, middle flight, end flight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's something I'm going to continue to work on, because like what you said off the vulture versus the trail, the vulture was so much more likely for me to get caught up on the left. And that trail, I can throw that shot all day long and I'll almost never wind up on this bad left side of the fairway. So I'm going to take that mentality into the rest of the back nine here. But I hope you guys enjoyed the front nine, maybe front 10 here. Go subscribe to Tyler. I'll link his YouTube channel in the description down below. If you want me to have him back for another video, let me know in the comments below. Stay humble, live with gratitude. I'll catch you in the next one.
Thank you, guys.
Take care. Good job today.
Thanks, brother.